Welcome back to the Weekend Edition. We're sitting here with a special guest. His name is Shukri Tofi. I said it right?
Yeah, that's right.
And he runs an agency called The Fort, based out of Joburg or Cape Town?
Joburg.
Both.
Joburg.
Oh, so you moved it from Cape Town to Joburg? Did you?
That's a different show
that's a lot. That sounds dramatic.
That's a different conversation altogether, but yeah.
Right,
I'm
okay.
a proud Joburger now.
Yeah,
so.
all right.
Yeah.
Award-winning agency. Are you originally from Cape Town?
I am originally from Cape Town.
And now you say you're a proud
I am. I'm a rare breed, but
right?
yeah.
Is your family still in Cape Town?
My extended family, my wife and my kids are with me in Joburg, yeah.
He's very specific.
Yeah.
All right, welcome to the Weekend Edition. Now, the reason why we have you on is because you've done this I guess you call it a short film. It's a 36-minute visual journal that you decided to put together, documenting your trip to Kathmandu Valley.
Kathmandu Valley.
Oh, it's Kathmandu Valley in Nepal.
Yeah.
You run an agency. The agency's doing very well. Firstly, why would you want to go on this journey and it not be a holiday? And why would you want to get into film?
So what's interesting, I think we as a creative agency always want to try and think about thinking differently, and we sort of empower our team to do the same.
Yeah.
And we really wanted to kind of say, well, if we kind of draw inspiration and thought leadership from the same, kind of areas and conferences, like what can really change? And we were also just, I think personally, as the founders of the agency, at a point where we wanted to do something different and sort of translate brand narrative storytelling into telling a greater story. And so we felt like going somewhere completely different, trying to tap into some old world wisdom. Nepal was described to us as a museum without walls. It hadn't been colonized, and we just wanted to kind of go somewhere there was this coming together of many religions and sort of spirituality. And I think I've kept a journal for many, many years, and I think Amr, the director of the film, and our chief creative officer wanted to bring that to life through images. And so it sort of mimics my writing in a very vivid and visual way.
Didn't Genghis Khan take over Nepal at some point? Huh? But that's going way back.
Before,
Ancient history.
And they used
stuff,
to destroy everything, including the art. And so you're saying that it hasn't been colonized, and a lot of the stuff there is still untouched. How far back does it date?
I mean, it's really kind of ancient history.
Really?
Like, And I think, what's really, really sad in at the end of the film, we say it's some of the last images taken before the earthquake, because a few months later, after we were there was this massive earthquake, and so many of the really ancient buildings were destroyed. And it's impossible to kind of rebuild that. And I think there's something really powerful about the fact that we went there, and the culture and heritage really endures, because the people kind of, that's all they have. It's a relatively sort of poor country, and so.
All right, so Buddhism and meditating feature in the film with you visiting the Lama, right? And you explaining to me that there isn't one Lama, it's like a bunch of lamas.
I thought there was only one Lama.
I think there's one Dalai Lama, and there are many lamas. So they sort of, it's like being a bishop and an archbishop, kind of
with
thing.
You.
So we went all the way up into the mountains in the hope of speaking to a Lama. And we got one of them to kind of sit down with me and chat to me for a little while. And I think what we really tried to do was not be too invasive and have lots of cameras and things like that. So the film is shot without big lights and things like that, but I think still visually really, really sort of like riveting stuff.
Does he speak English?
He did speak English. Many people didn't. So I did have a translator with me, because we wanted to sort of hold on to the sort of authenticity of them speaking like Nepali or Newari or whatever it was.
And what did you get out of the Lama? You have to see the film.
No, I mean, I think what's interesting, what I got, and it sort of started the journey of probably the biggest lesson of our whole trip, because my sort of on-screen experience was really reflective of the whole crew that went. Is we went there in search of some sort of enlightenment. And then we realized, well, that's pretty foolish to think you can sit down with someone and be like, hey, please give me some takeaway knowledge so I can go home and understand my life better. And so the Lama was very nice and very gracious, and sort of, we went through a bit of like a meditation process and tried to make me breathe through one nostril and down the other nostril. And I think
How does that work?
In the process of trying to do it, I realized I was actually relaxing, because it was, so, but it was interesting, and I think he part of it was to say that you can't sort of be there and like expect me to give you the knowledge immediately kind of thing.
All right, so we're gonna check out a clip from the movie. Take a look at this.
A lot of people see Kathmandu as a place to stop before you continue your journey to the mountains just above it. Today I leave the valley and make my way to a monastery. I'm excited at the prospect of meeting a Lama. Who better to bring some clarity and hopefully share a bit of old world wisdom? Journeying into the mountains isn't easy, but it's breathtaking.
Generally, when we have problems, mainly our problems coming from self-cherishing thoughts. So the main practice of Buddhism is to let it go. In order to tame our mind, in order to calm our mind, we have to begin with our moral, physical conducts, because our mind is very, very active, and we cannot control at all. But our physical actions are easier to control. We should appreciate whatever you have, and contentment is very important. Understanding the value of being human being. For the beginners, or to calm down our mind, we teach them breathing meditation. So meditate, breathing from your left nostril and sending down from your right nostril. Repeat 3 times. And again, breathing from right nostril, sending down from the left nostril. Repeat this 3 times, and then breathe 3 times from the both nostrils, and breathe out from both nostrils. Again, do this 3 times. So this we try to teach them like that. Beginners, very beginners. So you can meditate without thinking anything and just still. I feel like it's a painkiller, at that moment you are quite free from that, your problem, because your mind is sitting still, but deep down your problem still is inside. I found many people who are not Buddhists. Some are living in very busy cities. I found some of them being very happy, very contented. But then again, there are some who are not so happy with their life. So basically, the main thing is too much, ambition, too much competition.
Meditation is a moment of freedom. Even now, I can feel the calmness of the world around me. The Lama's words on the dangers of ambition and competition really hit home for me. He seemed reluctant to answer all my questions in one sitting, so I kept most of them to myself. No quick fix.
Wow, that's just 3 minutes.
Sure.
Yeah. We were just talking now. He had shades.
Like proper
He had
shades.
some cool
Like,
shades.
he went down the mountain. at some
Right.
I
point.
mean, we went all the way up to the mountain to Finding in the hope of speaking to him, and then I was like, oh, he has shades on, so he must have come down the mountain
Yeah.
at some point.
Right,
You know?
right, yeah.
Yeah.
All right, we've got another clip of you. You met a painter called Lok Chi. You want to just explain what we're about to see?
So Lok Chi he's a painter or an artist that does sort of very holy, ancient text through his art. And what was really interesting is I sat down with him to sort of say, can you decipher it? Can you explain the art piece to me and things? And he was like, no, I have apprentices that sit with me for a whole year and they crush paint. And only once they've shown a commitment to being an apprentice do they start gaining the knowledge. And so,
Isn't that crazy?
and so that was,
Wow.
and so for me, as the sort of spiritual tourist coming there, sort of saying like, you know, give me something to take away. Again, very quickly I realized, you know, I think that even I think we question the fact that can knowledge be taught? Or he doesn't turn around after a year and go, so let me tell you what you need to take out of this. I think through Crushing Paint, through watching him, you start to just immerse yourself in through that, you know. So I think that's what's really interesting.
That's actually very interesting. I had a sushi chef explain to me that before you even begin to be trained as a sushi chef, you have to spend 4 years just making rice.
Really?
Yeah, they've just got this 4 years making rice before you can start cutting and rolling and anything. But okay, so here is a clip from the movie, once again, The Rainmaker's Journal. And this is you meeting the painter, Lok Chi.
Artist Lok Chi practices a tradition of painting that is deeply rooted in religion and spirituality. Each piece of work is a devotional practice, layered with hidden texts and messages.
हाम्रो नेपाली परम्परा र धर्म संस्कृतिसँग जोडिएको कला हो अनि यो मलाई लाग्छ यो पैतृक सम्पत्ति पुरानो धेरै हाम्रो पुर्खाहरूले तयार गरेको एउटा बाटोमा हामी हिँडिरहेका छौँ यसको लागि चाहिँ एउटा आधार भनेको हामीले शास्त्रहरू अध्ययन गर्नुपर्छ अनि गाइडेन्स गुरुहरूको गाइडेन्स हुनुपर्छ यो शास्त्रीय आधारमा हामीले चित्रण गर्ने हो यो चाहिँ चित्रण चाहिँ नितान्त मेरो क्रिएसन चाहिँ हुँदैन यो चाहिँ मेरो शिल्प मात्रै हो म त माध्यम मात्रै हो दिस way of painting is a long process. It needs lots of patience for being a POBA artist. Nowadays, people want very quick result, but it is not possible. If you want to get something, you have to sacrifice another things. So this balancing is a little hard. Many times it takes lots of time to complete one painting.
Everything about Lok's craft has been preserved mainly through oral tradition and apprenticeship. Yet, he sternly resisted sharing any of it. That is knowledge you earn. First by sitting in silence, making paint for years, crushing insects. He said, the future is what we're doing at present. If we lose our present, then we don't have any future. Be sincere towards your work.
Wow.
So some people crush so much paint as a form of learning something, which is quite interesting. Jeez. Yeah. Wow.
You run an award-winning agency. You've won numerous awards. And then the film has also now won a ton of awards. You were telling us, how many film festivals has it been to?
It's been to a couple, but it's one at Rome, Amsterdam, in Switzerland, in Hollywood, in Bali, so pretty much all over the world.
Crazy.
Yeah.
So
Hasn't even been shown here yet.
Yeah, it hasn't been. So, what are you hoping to achieve after this? Are you going to be like is this your segue into Hollywood directing, or what's the story?
I think we are inspired to do more and tell more stories.
Yeah.
You know, it was a very experimental thing.
Okay.
And the film was never for blockbuster release or to win awards. We really wanted to sort of inspire ourselves around doing things differently. And again, if you look at the juxtaposition between like advertising and the kind of commitment that many of these artists have to their crafts and things, it's kind of really kind of brings you back down and says, well, let's kind of hone in and do amazing work and hopefully lay down the marker for us as a team to be able to do really amazing things. And so, so there's
I was going to say, you went on this journey in search of wisdom. And what did you learn? What is the lesson?
I think one of the main lessons is that don't be so fixated on trying to conquer Everest, literally and kind of metaphorically, and kind of enjoy the splendor at the foot of the mountain. And I think that was really the main takeaway. That restlessness that I had as like a young entrepreneur and saying like, cool, I've got married, have kids, start a business, and then it's like, what does this all mean? And you realize actually, you don't have to go and travel halfway across the world to experience that. And I think many people that watch it, and I think the reason it's resonating with so many audiences around the world, is that people are like, oh yeah, actually I should take time for one last cup of tea and just kind of enjoy the people and try and sort of gain knowledge from the people around me and things. So yeah, that was really the main takeaway.
Wow. All right, very cool, man. So the movie is called The Rainmaker's Journal, and people probably want to know how can they get their hands on it or get to see it.
Where does it premiere, etc., etc.?
Yeah, so it's because, as I said, it's been on the festival run for a while. You can go to unwrittenthemovie.com, and like very soon, I think by December, we'll have distribution in South Africa, both sort of in cinema and television and online. So we really want as many people to see it as possible.
Okay, so very soon. All right, man. Well, Shukri Tofi, thank you for coming to hang out with us. You got to run, right? So you can follow Shukri on Twitter and Instagram at Shukri Tofi, right?
Yeah, that's right.
We are #TheWeekend Edition.
Yeah.
We will be right back.
It's a